like I said, I'm going to take a look at GitHub Copilot. Now, this is an AI assistant used in coding, and this particular look is going to be completely unscripted. I don't really have an agenda for what I'm going to do. I just kind of have this idea of how I want to use it, but I want to walk through the tool just from the perspective of having used it only a little bit. I can't say this is a first impressions type video, but it is kind of like that because my exposure to this tool has mostly just been kicking the tires on it, using it in other ways. But I wanted to take a deeper dive into it and try to use it for many of the common things that people do while they're coding, such as generate tests or maybe generate scaffolding or whatever it might be. I just kind of want to look at it from that angle. And so I'm just going to go into Visual Studio Code and just start writing code with this particular tool and see how it works and kind of get an idea for what you can kind of expect from it and just use it for something I kind of already know, which is Node.js, but I'm going to see what it generates for me, and so that I can use that as a way to kind of benchmark the tool and how well it works and how well it would work for maybe your projects as well. So let's just go right over to Visual Studio Code and start coding with an AI assistant. So I've got Visual Studio Code set up here. I've got Copilot installed. Copilot is just an extension to Visual Studio Code, so there's really nothing you have to do fancy to install it. You just install it as an extension. You log into GitHub with the extension, and then it will look for a subscription. So you have to have a subscription to GitHub Copilot for this to work. That's part of the Pro package that you can get with GitHub, and it's like $4 a month. So it's a real bargain if you're going to be doing a lot of coding. It can really accelerate your coding experience. So well worth the $4 a month if you ask me. But in any case, let's go over here and just click on this right here, which is the new option adds to the icon bar over here. So I'm gonna click chat, and this is just showing me that I have it installed. GitHub Copilot, you're welcome to One Mule. I'm your Copilot. I'm here to help you help get things done faster, which is kind of the intent of this tool. So what I'm going to do with this tool is I'm going to basically write an API, and I'm going to use JavaScript. So I'm basically going to scaffold in the project. I'm going to create some code, and then I'm going to kind of rough it in. Then I want to take the code, make a controller, then put some unit tests around it, and I want to let Copilot do most of the work for me, and then try to make the code more efficient if I can do that. So let's try this out. Let's just see what happens. I have not rehearsed this, so let's just see what I can do with it. So first thing I'm going to ask it is just get an idea of what kind of commands it says. So if you type in / you can say, okay, you have these options here that can do a lot of different things. You can fix code, explain code, create a new notebook for Jupyter notebooks, create tests and clear the console here, and help and other things like that. So you can also just type in questions, or like, how do I generate an API in JavaScript? Let's just try that, see what it does. I mean, this is not hard to do. I mean, it's basically a couple npm commands and you're done. But this will tell me how to do it, and it will also give me might probably give me some code. Let's see what it does. Okay, so you're going to tell me use Express. Yeah, that's correct. Okay, there's some commands. npm init. Yep. Install Express. Here's some code. API. Oh, perfect. All right. That's pretty solid right there. Let's do it. Let's just follow these instructions here. I know these work because I've done this 100 times before, but let's open up a new terminal window here, and it's in my folder. And let's just copy and paste some commands here. And that's done. Let's install Express, and that's done. All done there. And then we can take this code right here, copy the code, which is basically just some boilerplate code for an Express app anyway. Add a new file. Let's call it index.js. And prime. Yeah, that looks good. And create the file, paste in the code. And let's run this bad boy and see what happens. Let's run and start debugging. Node.js, yes, running on port. Yeah, and let's see if I can launch a browser here. And let's get up a new browser window and go to, I could also do this through Postman, local host 3000 /API. And let's see if that, hello from the API, perfect. And there, it's just, that's exactly what you expect from this. So yeah, it's working. That of course is kind of trivial. So I kind of expected that to work. I didn't have a whole lot of doubt that that would work. Okay, so I'm going to add another route to this. So let's see if it'll allow me to add another route to this. So let's stop the debugger and come over here to our chat, and let's kind of zoom this out a little bit so we can see what's going on in the chat here, and spread this out a little bit, and ask another question. Can you add a route to this code for an endpoint called is prime that accepts a number, or let's just say integer, and integer. And let's see what this does. Sure, here's a route. Okay, define a route. All right. No, that's going to give me an algorithm. Even. All right. Let's see what we can do here. All right. Let's see if it gave me even primed it out. It kind of intended that I was looking for an is prime interest there. Okay, API app get. There's the scaffolding for it, and turns as prime. Okay. API. Let's just replace this with this right here, and response. Oh, I need a little bit more code. I need all that code. And let's move that and paste in that code. So now this should calculate a prime number. Okay, perfect. Let's see if this will run, which of course it should. Let's see, debug it. And it's running on the port 3000. Where's my browser window? All right, it's localhost 3000 API is prime, and I'm going to pass in the number 3. Is prime is true. Let's pass in 4. False, which is exactly like I expected. So that's working. It's calling that API. Okay, let's see if this thing can do something else. Let's see. Can you extract a controller from this code to where the is prime method is in the controller, or something like that. Let's see what it does. Sure, you can extract the logic and put it into a separate controller, so you do that. Okay, define a new function. And it looks like it's going to write the code for me. Okay. Looks good. So basically you just need a new, and then that's what I need to replace inside of the index. Perfect. All right, let's do a little surgery on this. All right, define is prime controller. Okay, right here. All right, let's do it in fine new text file. Not that file, new file is prime JS. And yeah, let's just put it right here. And const is controller. New control function in the controller that takes these parameters. Okay, that's all good, but all right. I don't think this is exactly what I want. Because this is it's just putting in a different file. Not exactly what I'm looking for. So let's see if I can do this. Let's say, can you create the scaffolding for a controller that I can use for a controller in a different file. Let's try that. Okay, yeah, I think this will work, and that looks right. I can take this right here. Let's just basically place this right here, this code. Now, it's going to export that, which is what I want. Is prime controller, or is prime. Okay, now can you show me the code to include the new file in my index.js? This is require, which kind of expect that, but yep, that's what I'm looking for. And this is basically what I want to replace using my index.js file here. So I think that's all I need for that to work. This looks right. Okay. Paste. Fine. Okay. Yeah, it looks right. Okay, let's just run this, see what happens. And run start debugging. Uh-oh. No, let's stop the old one. Run start debugging. Uh-oh, I have a problem in my code here. Cannot find. Oh, prime controller, because it's called is prime controller. Save that. Run start debugging. Okay, it all built. Let's try and run this again. And refresh. 5. Let's try 8. It is not prime. Let's try 7. Let's try 53. Let's try 2,192 is prime, is true. Oh, just a random number that I typed in there. And it turns out it's prime. Good. It seems to be working. Okay. Perfect. That's good. Now, let's try adding some tests to this. So test for is prime controller. Yeah, to test this one, okay. It's going to use jest, which is good. All right. Okay, that's what it's doing. Perfect. All right, let's need to install jest. So, but all right. This is just my test right here. So let's create a new file. New file. Test. Yeah, all right. File. New file is prime controller test. Let's try create file, and let's take this code right here. And this is prime controller. But oh, what's the error here? Differs already, includes a file called is prime controller. Okay, so is prime controller equals require. All right. Let's zoom out a little bit here. I'm just going to rename this file to prime controller to kind of clear up some confusion here, because it should be named that anyway. Let's see. Reveal and explore. Let's reveal, rename prime controller. That. All right. And there we go. And let's update my index to point to that new prime controller. Oh, that should be camel case, not uppercase. All right. Now, yeah, okay, good. Now let's add this to my package.json. should, oh, where's my test? Okay, it's not defined until I add npm test. I can type npx jest and put some quotes around that because it's going to want quotes. And that should test it. Let's see this. Prime controller. Correctly identifies prime numbers. Okay. Let's try this. Now let's come down to my terminal right here and type in npm test. Let's see if that works. Oops. Test. Uh-oh. I got an error down here for my test. I need to install jest. pm install jest. All right, let's try that. And it passed. So I now have unit test. So it generated the unit test for me. It generated the API. I was able to take the controller. That's one other thing I want to try with this. And I want to see if it can improve this algorithm some. This is doing just looping over numbers until it finds one. I'm wondering if there's a more efficient algorithm for prime numbers. So let's go back to chat down here and let's see. Chat. Let's see. Let's take this code right here. Can you make the following code more efficient for finding prime numbers? And let's see what happens. Sure, the current implementation has time complexity of 0.0. We can improve this more efficiently by checking for prime numbers that iterate through the square root of the number rather than the number itself. And this reduces the complexity to 0 square root of 0. All right. It's an interesting take on it, but all right, let's try that. Improve by check the prime square root of the number. Yeah, okay. Let's paste that in. Const is prime, and if it's not 1, return false. If it's 2, return true. Number divided by 2, mod 2, and then it does 3 times the square root. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. It'll work. It's just a much more efficient method of doing it. So yeah, I was able to improve my code. All right, so yeah, we saw that improve my code. It was able to do some of the tests. Let's see what else this thing can do. Terminal tests, help, learn how to use Copilot, clear the session, fix, fix. Let's see what this does. Fix, propose a fix for the problem in the selected code. I don't know, fix. Yeah, see if it says anything with this code. Just see what this does. The warning you see is because the common.js. Oh, it's showing some kind of warning. This prime controller. Okay. Is prime controller. That's because I have renamed the file. I could probably call this something else, like prime controller. Typically how you do it, and we can export that. Save, and let's check. Fix our test. Prime controller. Mock requests. Let's just try that. Prime controller. Fix my naming conventions there. Stop, and let's run those tests one more time. And it's going to use jest, and looks like it just worked. Perfect. So we're cooking with grease here. So yeah, this has been a fairly interesting experience. I didn't rehearse this. This is completely off the cuff. So it, yeah, really accelerated a lot of the coding that I would have otherwise had to type in manually. A lot of this code is pretty boilerplate, but it did accelerate it quite a bit. Like just building out scaffolding for APIs, building controller scaffolding, giving me how-tos on all this stuff. This is really nice. I can appreciate it. So yeah, definitely worth the money. I think, $4 a month, if you're doing a lot of coding, man, that'll pay for itself in time 10 times over in just your first day of using it. So yeah, definitely worth it. So yeah, I'm sold. This is probably something I'm going to keep for a long time because it's a really valuable tool. Now the only problem is I need to get it into Notepad++ because I do a lot of dev in that tool as well. But anyways, let's check it out, and definitely worth the $4 a month if you haven't paid for it already. Something to work with. So yeah, look forward to more content with me using this tool. So for sure.
If you like this content, please consider subscribing to the channel by clicking on the subscribe button. You can also like this content by clicking on the thumbs up or share this content with your friends, and also comment in the comment section down below. You can also find me online at www.blaze.net or on Twitter at @theonemule. And as always, thanks for watching.